So I've been asked to self-reflect on what I believe blended learning is. And I know what the definitions say. I know the various models. I understand it's the idea of mixing online content or online learning with brick and mortar learning. But I think some of the important keys are that it allows for self-pacing. Students can self-pace. It allows them to kind of choose what they want to learn. They can do it anywhere since it's online. They can do it from home if they wanted to. They don't necessarily have to be in their classroom. And all these are really important. I understand that they're kind of like the foundations, I guess. But without, um, I would say, a good instructional philosophy, then they probably are just as ineffective as any other tool or things that we've created in education. And so when I think about my educational philosophy, um, I feel like it changes every day. When I came out of school as a newbie, as a greenhorn, I understood some basic things like that students needed to explore learning, but they couldn't just be told tricks and kind of magical ways to solve things, that they needed to have kind of these authentic learning experiences. Um, but I didn't always know how to provide these, and so I relied on curriculums to show me what these looked like. Um, as I continued to grow, I realized that students needed to be able to have authentic discourse, and they needed to um, be challenged to be able to explain what they're learning, and all these things kind of uh, were happening like in these little pockets in my classroom, and it wasn't until more recently that I started trying to think, okay, what does this look like all day, all the time? And I realized that technology was a big piece of that, because it's pretty much impossible for a teacher to manage this free-going learning environment without technology's assistance. And by managing, I don't mean to have control of every aspect, but just to ensure that students have a quality system to go through, because if they don't understand outcomes, if they don't understand expectations, if there's not a way or a place for students to demonstrate what they're learning, then it kind of falls apart. And that's where I think blended learning kind of comes into play with all this. Um, if we can take what we know as best practices, like giving students timely feedback, letting students get that feedback to each other, giving them authentic learning experiences using authentic assessment, all these different things, and you could go on and on and on. Um, that's what we have to use blended learning to support that, and not blended learning to support kind of that archaic model of direct instruction, where I'm the teacher, I have the knowledge, so I'm going to put all this stuff online, and you just need to go through and learn it, and then take a test. Like, I could easily see why someone would say, hey, I got blended learning, look, all the kids do this online learning, and I meet with them. We still need to provide those authentic experiences. Students need to talk about what they're learning and why they're learning it, and to be able to talk about why it's important. If they don't have those kinds of context, then it almost is it's a waste of time for them. It's a waste of time for the teacher, and they need those resources differentiated, because um, we learn in so many different ways, that is another key piece that an online tool can provide versus an in-class direct instruction teacher model is that, yeah, I can go watch a movie, I can listen to this audio clip, I can do this simulation, I can video conference with someone else who's an expert, I could email someone else who's an expert. The possibilities are just endless. And so these things have to marry each other. We have to have online learning that that is supportive to student learning, to student discourse, to student creativity, that supports 21st century skills, whatever it is. Again, you could go on and on and on forever about all these things that students should be experiencing when they're learning. And again, I think blended learning just makes it more manageable. It's not a tool in and of itself, but it, again, like I said, it marries kind of into that educational philosophy. So I'd love to know what you think. I feel so overwhelmed with just all the different possibilities and all the different kinds of ways this could go, and I see it everywhere. Blended learning looks different and sounds different and feels different. It's pretty much to everyone I see, every school I see, every teacher I see, which I think is one thing that's beautiful about it, is it really can serve you and what your students need and what your school needs in your community. So yeah, let me know what you think. Love your feedback. Thanks for listening.